All right, guys, welcome in. It's the Outspoken Sportscast here with your hosts, Brian and Jeff. This is episode number 83. And we got a little bit of everything for you. We got some football, we got some basketball, maybe a little bit of baseball as well. So makes it for an entertaining show. Um, let me throw something out there real quick, Jeff. Let me give you a little kudos to the Denver Broncos. Okay.
Oh
They
man.
dominated the Cowboys, and I enjoy it so much just because I need the Cowboys to lose. So they got the job done, unlike the Vikings the week before. But
Yeah,
you got you,
I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of trash talk. Let's just say that much. Here's the deal. I've said this before. I don't live there anymore. I haven't lived there in 2 years. But I got a lot of trash talk from my dad, who's a massive Cowboy fan. Probably one of the biggest Cowboy fans I've ever known. Um, just they've been going to the Super Bowl for the last 26 years, according to my father. And it's just been nothing but just trash talk all week. It started Monday. Like, and it just didn't stop. And then Sunday, he's like, "You got to get the tissues ready." I'm like, "Whatever, Dad." I was like, "I don't even expect us to win the game. Like, we're not even really. I mean, honestly, I don't even really expect us to get to the playoffs. Like, I'm not expecting anything." And so yeah, he was just relentless. And then as soon as it started, I was like, the kick return was nerve wracking. I was like, "Oh no," because I mean, as soon as Pollard returned that kick, I was like, this is how games are. Like, special teams is a trash. Like, if it's gonna start like this, like it's just gonna be bad. And then we just stopped them. They tried to go on fourth down. We stopped them, and then the offense started out weak a little bit, and I was just like, this is just same old. Until they finally started connecting on some passes. The run game was the key to the game for the Broncos, and when we were up the 30 to nothing, I was like, this is I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't have imagined that. Um, and
yeah.
my dad, he wasn't saying anything then, so I was just like,
Oh, of
man,
course not. Of course
oh
not.
no. And then finally he called me. I think he called me later on that evening, and he was like, said something. There was some excuse. I don't remember, but I was just like, whatever, Dad. I'm like, he's like, drop passes. I'm like, there were other opportunities. It wasn't it wasn't just those. So but yeah, I love the way the team played. It was a complete that was probably the most complete game I've seen the Broncos play all year. Some of the players came out and talked about how they thought it was a bit disrespectful that the fact that they were trying to go on fourth down multiple times like that at the beginning of the game, and
It
made
sets
the
the tone.
yeah, and it made the defense feel disrespected enough to go, you know what? No, we're not going to have that. I guess because they thought that maybe the Cowboys thought they were just going to run house all over the Denver Broncos all day long, and it didn't happen. And it's interesting because the Broncos are starting to get people back, and that's interesting. We're starting to get some cornerbacks back. Um, we Noah Fant's coming back this week. On top of the people that we already have, Sutton and not Sutton, Tim Patrick, and so like it's just there's pieces that are all falling into place, and then I think Bradley Chubb comes back after the bye week, and then Patrick Surtain, I think he'll be ready by bye week. He had a sprained knee, so that he suffered in the game. But even with I mean, even during that game, we were having injuries, and yet we were still dominating.
I was at church during that game. My game came on in the middle of the day at 3, but I'm getting texts, people blowing my phone. Man, Cowboys are getting dominated. I'm like, what? 30 to nothing? Woo! So I had to throw that out there real quick because I saw the Denver
Yeah.
Broncos hat, as I usually do
Yeah,
when you turn
I
on this.
have so we're going to see family for Thanksgiving, and I already know what I got to do. I gotta get my dad an Orange Crush can, just just to kind of be like, here you go, Dad.
There you go, Dad. Go buy him a
Before
whole
I,
pack of that and tell him to sip on it. All right,
Oh
Jeff.
man.
Well, let's jump into the spotlight of the week. We have an Odell Beckham signing, and I'm going to go off on my own team here in a little bit with this, Jeff. But the Rams have agreed, and Odell Beckham, I guess, is really should say, has agreed to sign another blockbuster for the Rams. He hit waivers. Odell came out, basically said if a team picks him up on waivers that he didn't want, there was going to be issues, which means he was going to pull an Odell and cause issues. No one picked him up. Um, Rumored was Green Bay was his number one spot, and then the Saints, maybe Seattle, maybe the Patriots. Those were the kind of rumors that were kind of just flopping around. I'm like, look, Green Bay's the obvious decision out of those teams. But we're gonna jump into the trade. I'll get into Green Bay here in a little bit after this. But Rams get it done. Rams sign him. They sign him 1 year, $4 million deal. Do they sign? I mean, does that contract, is that just for this season or is that for next year? I don't know. It's half. I guess it's just half this season. But
Probably. Yeah. It's
are they wanting to bring him back? And this Rams offense is already good, Jeff. Deshaun Jackson just left that team because he could not get the amount of passes he wanted. Is Odell going to be happy here if he can't get those passes? I mean, that's my biggest thing. But it just makes sense. It's home for Odell. He has a house in L.A. He's in L.A. from during the whole offseason. This just makes sense for him to sign there. It's the easiest way to a championship. This team's look, they went out and they won. It's a win now move. They made win now move with Von Miller last week. They made a win now move by going and getting the deal done with Odell.
yeah.
And I think after the Von Miller move, it put up the Rams a little bit better. After the Odell move, I mean, Rams to me are the clear favorite for Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. It's another threat. It's another weapon for Matthew Stafford. And so it's just I know they lost last week. They lose last week, right?
They lost the Titans, and yeah.
But I mean, whatever. His team's going to be in the mix. Like, they're too good. Defense is too good. Von Miller didn't even play last week.
Now make his
So
debut this week against who are they playing this week? I don't remember who they're playing this week.
I'll have to look it up. But yeah, like, I mean, Von Miller will make his debut. He's already I think he already had it on his YouTube. He already said he's landed in LA. So he's ready to go. But yeah, like this, it's just the Rams are making moves. And honestly, this was they didn't have to give up anything, just money.
No, just money. And then they find ways to get the job done. The Rams do play the 49ers. It's a division game. The 49ers just came off a loss against the Cardinals and Colt McCoy with the backup. So I don't have much faith that the 49ers will win. I hope they do. We need to see the Rams go down if you're in the NFC, which my team is. And the NFC is really strong right now. And look, I posted on TikTok. I wanted Odell in Green Bay. I wanted him. People want to bring up drama and they want to, bring up all this issues with that Odell's had. But look, especially for Green Bay, Jeff, and this is my argument with all them drama. We already have drama. We've had drama all off season with Aaron Rodgers. We've had drama last week with Aaron Rodgers. What drama that this team's gone through already can we not handle? This is an all-in move.
Yeah.
The Rams are clearly making those moves. Odell claims that he wanted to play in Green Bay. The reports came out that he said that he felt like Green Bay's front office wasn't all in. They offered him the vet minimum. That was it. He didn't get a call from Matt LaFleur. He didn't get a call from a player. They didn't go all out for the red carpet for Odell. Odell said the Rams did. McVay called him and said, hey, this is how I'm going to use you in our system. This is how we're going to get you the ball. McVay will find a way to use Odell, and this just makes this offense way better. Baker Mayfield wasn't getting the ball to Odell. Odell was getting open. I think we're going to see Odell shine. I think we're going to see that because when he went to Cleveland, we really didn't see that kind of flashy Odell Beckham, right? He was
Right.
in Cleveland, Ohio. It was, I mean, not many people shine there, Jeff.
Right.
He came from New York, big market. He was the guy. He's going back to a big market in LA. Let's see if he can be that guy again. And I think now will he be as good as he once was? Probably not.
No.
But he'll be way more productive with Matthew Stafford, McVay playing the thing and or running the plays and calling the shots. Now, and that's probably the biggest difference here is McVay runs the team. McVay makes the calls. McVay makes he makes things happen. LaFleur doesn't have that kind of power there in Green Bay. That's all through a board and Mark Murphy and all that crap.
Aaron Rodgers' favorite people.
And Jeff, I'm telling you, look, I get it, right? Green Bay Packers are in a bad spot money wise. They cap spaces. They have no money, Jeff. That's the issue. Unless Aaron Rodgers leaves next year, we don't have any money. We wanted to save money to sign Devontae Adams, and that's the reason why they didn't offer any more money. I'm tired of excuses, Jeff. This is why Aaron Rodgers wants out. They don't go and make these win now moves. They don't do it. They never have. When's the last time Green Bay has traded for a great wide receiver? It doesn't happen, Jeff. I think 95 or something like that was the last time we drafted a wide receiver or traded for a wide receiver, something like that. They don't make these moves. This is Aaron Rodgers' last season, Packer fans. I hate to say it to you. He's not coming back. What else do you have to lose? It's so frustrating. So frustrating, Jeff. I blame Green Bay's front office. I blame Mark Murphy. I've never liked Mark Murphy. I've claimed that he is the problem in Green Bay, but there's nothing I can do about it. Right? I can't change it. It's not going to change till he's either dead or as forced to retire. He's basically the owner of the team, Jeff.
Yeah.
He runs the
Breaking
board.
news, guys. He's dead. No, I'm kidding.
He runs he runs the board who runs Green Bay. Don't tell me the fans own the team. You don't make any damn decisions, so don't even bring that out here, okay? Mark Murphy runs the team. He has majority power.
Don't lie, Brian.
And I can't stand
You're in the board meetings. You're the one. You're pulling some strings behind the scenes. Come on.
If I'm calling the shots, Jeff, Odell Beckham Jr. is a Green Bay Packer, and this would have opened up our offense. And my only question to Odell is, why would you go to the Rams to be a number 3 wide receiver when you could have gone to Green Bay and been a number 2? You would have got more balls thrown your way. You would have been able to shine a little bit more, right? The majority of the fan base, or not the fan base, the majority of the NFL world believe that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have any help, and it's only Devontae Adams. He could have been the number 2. We could have given him all the balls he wanted. He's going to go to LA, and he'll get balls thrown his way, but he could have had half the majority of the balls going in his number 2 in Green Bay. I guess he and I can't blame him for going home. I can't blame him for feeling like one team wanted him more, right? Like if you're going to a job interview and money aside, right? You're going to go to the one that kind of makes you want to go there. You're going to go to the one that makes you feel wanted, right? I've in my life I've had that. After I left Benny Keith, I had an interview at Cisco and an interview at Waste Connections, where I work now. I had a job offer at Cisco, and I said, I'm good. I don't need to go to the Waste Connections interview. I went anyways, and I felt wanted. I felt welcome. It was a little bit of a pay cut too, a little bit of a pay cut. And I said, I'm going to be happier at this place. And I took it. I went there. And that's the best decision I've made, or one of the best decisions I've made is work there. But LA rolled the red carpet out. They're paying him more money than Green Bay can offer him. And I get it. We're not going to be able to offer him that much. But to me, this was a no-brainer to give Odell Beckham. This is a win now move that the Green Bay Packers don't do in a win now season. This would have put them over the edge, I think, of okay, maybe these guys are the one of the favorites. They're already okay. They're already one of the favorites, right? They already have a shot. This would have put them up above, I think, the Rams, in my opinion.
I think that's a pretty at that point they're pretty even with each other at that point.
I could definitely see that too. The defense for the Rams, well, Green Bay's defense is playing better than the Rams right now. We're top 10. I'm not sure where the Rams rank on defensively, but I know they're not as good as they were last season so far. They're still good, don't get me wrong, and we're about to see them get better with Von Miller. This just made the Rams a lot better. This offense is going to thrive. It's just I hate that he wants the Rams. I just hate it. They're already good, and
this is
my
kind
team's
of
got to
like
my
this
team's
is
got to
kind of
face him in a
like
couple weeks, and I'm just.
this is kind of like a Kyrie and Durant and a Harden kind of situation, if you think about it in a lot of ways, because everybody expected the Nets to be there in the NBA Finals, possibly even honestly winning the finals. I think a lot of people called that, and they didn't. A team that no one expected, a team that has consistently struggled to get over the mark consistently, and they even though the Nets were hobbling at that point, they didn't have a lot of their talent at all. They went actually out of the three, I think it was just Durant there towards the end.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, but again, ultimately, I mean, they were the favorites to win. So you never know what's going to happen. I'm not saying
Right.
the Rams aren't going to win. I'm just saying they are the clear favorite if healthy, if everyone's on the team. I would be shocked if they didn't even make the Super Bowl, to be honest.
Well, and that's the thing, Jeff. Like, you know, I'm a realist. I'm real with my sports. I'm real with life. But so I think it all depends on like expectations going into a season, where you
Mm,
see your team is. Like you said, you didn't expect Denver to go very far.
no,
That's great of you because a lot of fans would be like, "My team's winning every year." That's just not real. Um, with Aaron Rodgers, I know we always have a chance, right? We're always going to be in games. We're always going to probably win our division. We're going to be in the playoffs. We have a shot. We've been to the 2 NFC championships games in a row. And I believe this was a piece. We haven't gone out and make those splash picks, or those splash trades, or picking up people in free agency. We haven't done it. I thought this was going to be could have been a big chance to say, hey, we're changing things around here a little bit. We're going to try and go all in. And that's why I'm frustrated with it. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, this is what Green Bay does. We're always in hot rumors about everybody, but we're not willing to um, risk it a little bit, risk it for the biscuit, if you want to say. And when you're in that Super Bowl window where you have an opportunity, you've got to take those risks. And we're not willing to do that, unfortunately.
yeah, and it's like but when the Broncos had Peyton, the time to win was then. Because
Right.
it was like we had a short window. We knew we weren't going to have him too long. It was about 4 years at best, and ultimately it was kind of like we had to sit there. A fan base had to sit there and go, look, it's now. The time is now. So when we went to the Super Bowl and lost, I think it was 48. Um, it was devastating. It was like, what? Okay, whatever. Like, I mean, that was our chance, and that's what I thought back then. I was like, that's our chance. We're done. Whatever. It is what it is. That was the opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and we didn't do it. And the following year, like I think we got bounced in the AFC Championship game. I can't remember. And then and he was hurt. Peyton was hurt in that game, and I don't remember who we went up against, but it was a bad game. I remember from the very beginning, his throws were off. I was like, this is gonna be bad. Like he was missing targets. So then, like the following year, our defense was on fire, and it was like, oh, okay. And when we went, the further we kept getting into the playoffs, I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then we knocked out Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, and I'm like, okay. And then everyone kept talking about Cam Newton, which
Oh,
we can get to
overrated
that.
big time.
We can get to that in a second. But
We'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah.
but yeah, like that. Everybody kept talking about it, and I was like, man, this is what they did with the Broncos. They hyped them up, and then we lost in the last Super Bowl. So I'm like, let's just let the chips fall, you know? And then the second that game started, it was over, dude. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm like, we're gonna win this game. There's no
Well,
way.
it's weird that in those 2 Super Bowls that a quarterback in your offense got worse, but you won,
Yeah.
you know? And that's what, like, this kinda reminds me of, like, last season, Green Bay scored the most points in the NFL. Like, they averaged the most points per game. Our offense last year we were a fine oiled machine. And this year, I don't feel that, but our defense is playing really good. Um, I feel like we can compete against anybody. I feel like we can beat anybody. It we missed out on Odell, and there's a lot of, and let's talk about the Green Bay Packer community. There's a lot of people that didn't want Odell, but they don't understand that Odell was going to open up our offense for a
Mhm.
lot more. Odell was going to do a lot of things for this offense, and just having a guy out there, even as a decoy, whatever,
Yeah.
he's got to be accounted for.
Well, and this is a moment where you don't have a guarantee next season.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's no guarantee at all. And the fact that that's a looming thing, I think as an organization, you should be like, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get it all out and go because the storm cloud's coming in at the end of the season. And you
yeah,
don't
well,
really
yeah.
know what's behind that storm cloud. And you don't
That's
know if those clouds are going to part ways and or if you don't know if those clouds are going to clear up and Aaron Rodgers is going to come waltzing out with a new extension or a new contract, whatever.
it's the
So
biggest. It's the biggest storyline after the season ends. Right after the Super Bowl, it's gonna be the biggest sports line, and it's gonna be that way until Aaron Rodgers figures it out, and he's gonna wait till all off season, like you know, halfway through, or or something. But
get used to it, everybody. We're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers for the next 6
yeah,
months.
you've been talking about him all last year, talking about him now. I didn't mean to jump into Green Bay, but this is
Well,
so
It
frustrating.
includes Green Bay
It
because Green Bay
does.
was in talks with
Exactly.
getting him. So
Exactly. And this is a move to me that could have showed Aaron Rodgers that, hey, maybe they're changing, right?
it shows
Maybe
something
this is
else.
something,
Yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, it shows they're not going to pull that trigger.
Hmm.
Um, and if anybody watched Jordan Love play last week, you've got to be begging and hoping we bring Aaron Rodgers back. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
And I don't know. I know, and in a lot of ways, I can see why maybe Denver is a little bit of an intriguing place for him. I mean, you saw George Payton has been not even like batting an eye, bringing in more guys, even after the free agency, people that have hit the waiver wire. Like he's still bringing people into the team that can help in some way, shape, or form, whether it be solidifying some backup pieces or just depth in general or practice squad people or whatever. And some of the pieces people are like, how did he get that guy? So it was just he's constantly and the other day he was just sitting there scouting talent in college. And I'm just like, this dude's never not working. Like, so like to have that guy running the team is so exciting. And it should be for even like players coming into Denver. I'm sure that's something that Aaron Rodgers may be even intrigued by because it's like you're going to constantly bringing talent in throughout the season. Sign me up.
right.
Sign me up.
And that's what good teams do. Like you play half a season, you go, okay, what's a piece we can add here or there and kind of fine tune this thing to go on a championship run. In Green Bay, at the end of the day, we're going to win our division. We're going to make the playoffs. Hopefully, make a far push. I hope we either go to the Super Bowl or lose in the second round because I don't want to go to another NFC Championship game, Jeff, and lose another one. But I don't. I can't handle another NFC Championship loss. But
losing in the playoffs is horrible. It is. It's
it's
horrible.
horrible.
I hate that feeling, especially just
I'd rather lose in the Super Bowl. Well, I'd rather lose
yeah.
in the playoffs than the Super
Well,
Bowl. Because you get to the final game, you're like, we're gonna win, and then
you can
you
lose in the Super
don't,
Bowl
and
and lose in an embarrassing fashion like the Broncos did the first time we went
that was bad,
with
Jeff.
Manning. It was just absolute horrible. Dude, I didn't want to watch the rest of the game. Like it was just like
From the first
I was
snap, it was a
excited too. I
debacle,
was like,
man.
man, I had wings. I was like ready to go. And then as soon as it started, I was like
You threw up. You
I was
threw up
like,
you
no.
threw up the wings real quick,
Oh,
and
I hate wings now. No, I'm kidding.
I hated it because I was all for Denver. I'm like Peyton Manning. I'm a big. I like Peyton Manning a lot. I was like, they're
Dude,
gonna
they were
win. They're
breaking
gonna win. They're
records,
gonna
man. They were
win.
breaking records left and right.
Yeah,
Left
that
and
goes to show you
right.
that defense was just insane, just insanely good. All right, Jeff. Well, that's the spotlight of the week. This week, let's go ahead and jump into the top 5 or the top games of the week. There is some okay ones, some decent ones. There wasn't really anyone that was like, oh man. Browns versus Patriots is the first one. And I talked about it a little bit last episode of that has Bill Belichick found his way to win with his team. And I think that's what Bill Belichick's really good at is he knows his team, he knows which way he can win with that certain team. Not all, they they get rid of players left and right there. They don't keep, they had Tom Brady forever, but other than that, they switch players in out. Bill Belichick's great at letting go of players, and we're all going, "Why did you let go of this guy? He's great. Why didn't you sign him?" And then they ended up falling apart. And you're like, "Oh well, maybe he saw something there." Bill Belichick finds a way to win with the teams he has, and he's doing that right now with Mac Jones. Mac Jones, I thought was a perfect fit when they drafted him. He's not going to come out and throw 400 yards a game and blow you away, but he's not going to turn over the ball. He's not going to cost them big, and he makes the smart play with the ball. He reads the defense really good. The Patriots are tough to win. The Browns are out without Nick Chubb. They're one of their best running backs. Baker Mayfield will struggle against his defense. I've got the Patriots winning this one, Joe.
I can't argue with that at all. I think Bill Belichick will take this team down. I mean, I just think the Browns are just man.
They're so up and
Like
down.
I
And last
know,
week they
like
blew out the Bengals in
yeah,
Cincinnati, but
yeah.
I don't
I,
trust them to go into the
I don't
Patriots
trust
team.
them. I don't trust them because I know Bill Belichick will divulge a scheme that will take this team down. And then again, I don't think this is going to be a huge blowout or whatever. Just because in terms of the way the Patriots are, I think the Patriots are designed to play close. They're not going to blow anybody out of the water, and I don't think the Baker Mayfield will blow anybody out of the water in this game. I think he capitalized on a young, not unexperienced and an inexperienced team last week. But here's the deal: you're not going to outdo Bill Belichick. Kind of like what you did last week. So I think they're going to shut him down a little bit, and it's going to be a close game. Maybe a touchdown or two, maybe even 10 points, or it's our field goal. But this is going to be close. This is not going to be a blowout game.
I feel like a 27-24 game.
Yeah.
Nobody gets over 30. It's a last-minute field goal,
Yeah.
probably from New England to win it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Jeff. This next one's kind of interesting. The Chargers versus the Vikings, and the Chargers started off the season on fire. They've kind of mellowed out since then, and have been a little disappointing since the start of the season. And the Vikings are a disappointing football team. They have all the talent in the world, can't get the job done. So, I think this game will be a good game. I have the Chargers winning this one, though. I think I think the quarterback Herbert's just better. I think their offense, and it's frustrating. Well, it's not frustrating for me. It's kind of funny, but it's got to be frustrating being a Minnesota fan. And we talked about this last week too. All the weapons they have, and they continue to struggle to score. Their defense has been not there this year. Just really, really mind-boggling things going on there in Minnesota, and I think that the coaches lost them, and I think that's the reason why they continue to struggle. They don't want to play for Mike Zimmerman anymore. But
You
I got
know,
the
and
Chargers winning this one.
I don't know if what the reason was where George Payton left Minnesota. I don't know why. I don't know if he left or they fired him. But if he left, obviously this guy saw something that was not going well. And that was
Probably
probably
didn't
going to
have the control he wanted there with Mike
right.
Zimmerman.
There's probably that. And and so that's interesting to me. But in terms of the game itself, these two teams are so just whatever to me. The Chargers 1 minute you think the Chargers would win certain games. They obviously didn't. They don't. It's just, I don't know what it is. But this is a freaking coin flip, man.
Mhm.
Um, I'll go with the Chargers just because I think the Vikings will somehow trip on themselves and fall down the stairs. So, um, and I don't even think it's going to be a great game, honestly. So yeah, I'll go with the Vikings. Score
You go with
wise, I have
Vikings.
no idea. I just don't think it's going to be a very exciting game.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find some exciting games this week. We got the. I hate to say it, but it's true.
It is.
We got the Raiders versus the Chiefs, and
Ah,
let me tell you what, Jeff.
that's a whole
Um,
episode podcast within itself.
my
What's wrong with
gosh,
Patrick Mahomes?
I'm telling you, I watched him last week because we played Green Bay, and he fell off a cliff. I have no clue. Jordan Love played better than Patrick Mahomes. Jordan Love had more passing yards. Jordan Love had a better quarterback rating. I don't get it. I didn't want to believe it. I haven't really watched a lot of Kansas City games, but my gosh, and our defense played. Man, our defense was great that game, and we should have won. But I and I thought last week I said the Chiefs are going to be desperate for a win. They've been kind of falling down. I'm going to pick them to win. Aaron Rodgers would have demolished them. It wouldn't have even been close. After saying all that, though, I'm going to pick the Chiefs because
Oh God.
the Raiders are such choke artists, and the Raiders, I can't trust them. I just can't trust them, Jeff. I don't trust them. I trusted Baltimore on Thursday night, and they cost me as I lost in Survivor. But I have a buyback, so that helped me back in. But uh, I don't trust them. I do not trust the Raiders. I do not trust Baltimore. And the Chiefs, you can't trust right now. Uh, who do you trust or believe in to win this
First
game,
of all,
Jeff?
I will say this much. Going into this season, I was like, okay, well, the Broncos are definitely not winning the division. They have no chance at all. And not only do they not have a chance, now we got to compete with the Chargers for a wild card spot. That's another tricky situation. This division is wide open. Wide open. And at first, I was like, no, the Chiefs will pick it together. I'm going to tell you this much. If this continues for the Chiefs, if he continues down this trajectory, you need to get a little worried, Kansas City.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's a little bit worrisome. If the fact that this quarterback cannot get it together at any point right now to this point in the season, and if we continue throughout the season and we see the same thing, something is wrong. I said it last year. The Broncos stopped him a lot last year in the last game of the season, and we lost barely on a field goal. I think it was a last minute field goal,
yeah,
and we almost won that game. And I'm telling you, something Denver was figured them out somehow. I'm sure of it. We haven't played them yet, so Denver had figured them out. And if this continues, I think maybe the NFL's figured some of the things that Mahomes was doing out too.
yep.
So with this game, I'll go with the Chiefs. The reason I will go with the Chiefs is because it'll knock the Raiders down a peg a little bit more too, and if the Broncos win their game this week, that just helps that out. So, in terms of just like trying to gain in the division itself, sure, I'll go with Kansas City. I hope they both end in a tie personally,
Yeah.
but it probably won't. So, no, I'll go with the Chiefs.
The Rams versus the Niners, and I picked the Niners to win last week. I was like, okay, Jimmy G's been playing pretty good. Their defense is good. That's a flat out lie. They got beat by Colt McCoy and just got destroyed. Okay. I can't believe in the
Oh,
49ers either. Um, I
something
got
happened
the
to Rams
Rams.
last week too. So
I got the Rams.
the
Oh
Rams are
yeah.
back. The Rams are going to win this game. I'm telling you right now. I'm saying it just for my boy Von Miller. Let's go out there. Let's get a sack. Let's
No,
sack Jimmy
Vaughn. I
G.
need you to go out there and tear your ACL. Okay.
let's sack.
I'm just
Let's sack.
joking. I
Let's
don't
sack.
wish that upon
He does
anybody.
it. And you're like you.
No.
No, just sack Jimmy G. A couple times for Denver, and
He's gonna have
let's get a good game there. And I think the Rams. I'll go with the Rams.
That's gonna be an easy one. And look, Tuesday, Jeff, I had to eat some crow. I've been bad talking the Tennessee Titans. Um, I told you stick a fork in them, they're done. And look, they would have
I
lost the
said the same thing.
game. Yeah, they would have lost the game against the Rams if Matthew Stafford doesn't throw 2 interceptions that led to 14 points. But I've got to eat some crow. They beat the Rams last week. They did it pretty handily, and
He's
maybe
got a
it's
crow.
time.
He's about to eat it, guys.
Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that I kind of lay off of him. I still don't trust him. I still don't believe in him. But I'm gonna be a little less harsh on the Tennessee Titans going forward. That being said, Jeff, if Aaron Rodgers plays, I got Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. Packers play Seattle this week. If he does not play, wipe this game off the map. You don't even want to watch it because Jordan Love can't
Is
score
Wilson in?
points. He's in.
Oh wow. Okay,
He got cleared earlier this week.
that's gonna be
Green
interesting.
Bay Love is ready to go, but the word is that Green Bay expects Aaron Rodgers to play and are planning on Aaron Rodgers. So you're gonna have Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. That should be an exciting matchup. If it's Love, don't even bother. Do not even bother.
Love's gonna go out. He's gonna just 400 passing yards.
Don't even bother. I got Green Bay winning this game. If Aaron Rodgers is there,
Yes,
if it's not, then it's basically a loss. But
with the situation of Aaron Rodgers coming into the game, you can't go against Green Bay. First of all, we don't know what Russell Wilson is going to look like after this freaking injury. We don't know how he's going to play being out for as long as he's been out. What we do know is that no matter what happened when it came to Aaron Rodgers, he was healthy, he was ready to go, and he can come out and put on a show. I didn't try to rhyme there. Um, so yeah, I think it's going to be Packers, especially if Aaron Rodgers is playing. So that's a good pick there.
and our defense is playing fantastic.
Is this in Seattle?
This is in Seattle.
Okay.
Yep. Now you got me second guessing myself. I need to look and make sure it is in Seattle. I think it is. We played quite a bit of home games lately.
Okay, makes sense.
Um.
Tough place to play. Loud people.
Oh, it's at Green Bay. All right.
Oh,
I'll
it's at
take
Green
it.
Bay.
It
Okay,
is in Green Bay.
I will go with that then. I think Green Bay will win this game, with Aaron Rodgers, of course.
All right, Jeff. Let's cue the music. Let's cue the headlines. I got the top headlines of the week for you coming up. All right, Jeff. The headlines of the week. We had some interesting ones coming out this week. Superman, Jeff. Mr. Cam Newton himself is headed back to the Carolina Panthers. for a 1 year,
Oh
$10
my god.
million
When I
contract, Jeff. Let me tell you what this smells of. Desperation.
Oh, absolutely.
Desperation all day long. Look, and I get it. Sam Darnold's been a bust. Sam Darnold's career is a backup from now on. That's it. Okay. I wanted to believe in Sam Darnold. The Panthers wanted to believe in Sam Darnold. He is not that guy.
Mm.
But why would you bring Cam Newton in? It doesn't. It's he's washed. He's done. We saw him in New England. He can't step back and throw the ball downfield. Cam Newton's washed. Their team's not going to be any better. It's just not. I don't.
This is
I
just
don't.
to finish out the season.
I guess maybe it's just us to bring some fans back to the
Yeah,
Panthers. I don't
probably.
some ticket sales.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Um,
Sell a couple more jerseys of the Panthers number 1.
yeah.
Ugh, I
Look,
hate
I've
them.
never been a fan of Cam Newton. I haven't, and they want to talk about he's the MVP and he made it to the
Oh,
Super
man.
Bowl.
I've
He
always thought
got
Cam Newton is overrated. I mean,
yes,
that's it.
college,
I always
college.
thought
Sorry, go ahead.
I always thought he was overrated. Like, and the whole time he was even playing, I mean, even when he was playing with the Panthers early on, I was like, this dude's number 1. Like, what is going on?
Cam Newton in college was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Cam Newton in NFL, okay. I didn't live up to his hype. Even in the Super Bowl, he was horrible. Green Bay should have beat Cam Newton that year. Didn't happen. Um, I'm just not a big Cam fan, and I'm not a big fan of his character. I don't care what he wears. He wears some crazy things. I don't give a crap. It's just that when he wins, he's all in your face and happy about it, and when he loses, he pouts.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to answer your questions anymore, and he's had enough. And I don't know. I'm just not a big Cam Newton fan, and he's been done. We saw him in New England. Horrible. He can't take his
I
three-step
think
drop and drop it down the field anymore.
and I think I think this might even be the end. Like,
I thought it was over already, but when I heard that, I was like, "Wow, really?" I
why
saw
not
him.
retire as a Panther?
Yeah, I saw a meme today. It said the Panthers are paying for Cam Newton, Cam Newton's replacement, and then Cam Newton's replacement, or something like that. It was like they're paying for Cam Newton's replacement, Cam Newton's replacement, and now they're paying Cam Newton to play for Cam Newton's replacement. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this team is
Uh,
done. Stick a fork in them. Sam Darnold's not the guy. They took a low risk, high reward, and it didn't work out. I like what Matt Rule's done. I mean, this guy has gone from program to program in college and made them winners.
mhm,
This defense is playing really well. The numbers show that they have offensive weapons. They have 2 good wide receivers. They got one of the best running backs in the league. They need a quarterback. Cam Newton's not the guy. It's not the guy.
nope.
All right,
I
Jeff.
laughed whenever that news came out. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me."
And there's so
Oh,
many people that still think he's great. I'm like, no.
no.
What are you
Sorry, guys.
watching? What are you?
Sorry. He wasn't even good in Super Bowl 50.
No, he wasn't. And he's playing a great defense, but no, and when he never mind, I can't even get into when he didn't go for that fumble, I'm like, what are you doing? The
His
game's on.
career is over, people. It's done. Let's just go ahead and get off the Cam train at this point, and honestly, at this point, just go, "Look, he'll retire as a Panther." That's kind of where it ends.
Exactly. All right, Jeff. The next story is interesting. John Gruden is suing the NFL. Uh, John, I don't know why are you laughing. John Gruden claims that he was targeted through the release of the emails because he's the only one that emails were released. My question to you is: do you think he has a case on this?
No. No.
You don't think
Uh,
so?
well, I mean, he's got a
I
case with
think he
Roger Goodell
does.
at this point because Roger Goodell's the one who doesn't want anything shown. He doesn't want anything known.
I
Uh,
well, that's I think he's got a case because that ruined his career. That leak ruined his whole career. He lost his career
What would
because
it
of it.
matter? It would have come out anyway. What would have mattered?
What matters is nothing else came out. That's the problem. It's
Because
only
Goodell doesn't want anything out.
I know, that's why he's suing.
Okay, and I get that, but I mean,
That's the
honestly,
case.
in terms of suing the NFL, I mean, how far do you think that's gonna go? How far do you really think that's gonna go?
He's taking it up pretty high. I think he's got a case, and I think he might win it because of the fact that that's the only thing that came out of the emails, right? That's the only thing.
Right.
And they refuse to give anything else up. He feels targeted, which I could see why he would.
Yeah, and
Not that I'm
I get
saying
he's got
what
a
he
case.
said is okay. I'm just saying
I get he's got a case, but my thing is, realistically, I don't think anything's gonna come out of this. Realistically, I think the NFL is too big. I think there's too many moving parts for him to really even have. I think he's got a case, but I don't think anything's coming out of
I
this.
think he gets a settlement,
Oh, whatever.
millions.
Oh,
You
sure,
know,
sure. Why not? Sure. The NFL has money to be just throwing around, so
yeah,
why not? Do you want an extra $10 million as opposed to what you already got? Sure.
he's already a millionaire. So,
Yeah.
all right, Jeff, I'm going to skip down here because I want to put the two NBA things together. So let's talk about the MLB, Jeff. MLB is going to go on strike.
I knew it.
If you guys didn't know this, and it's not official. Okay, this is not official breaking news. More than likely, though, they're going to go on strike. It's been a cluster F of decisions of sticky tack, no sticky tack. Let's take it halfway out in the middle of the season. Pitchers are tearing their rotator cuffs and Tommy John surgeries, and do we want the balls juiced? Do we not want the balls juiced?
Tommy
What's
Bahama
going on?
surgery.
Who has the there's so much cluster in the Major League Baseball, and that's why I don't think there will be baseball next season.
I think there'll be baseball. I think that it will be delayed a little bit, but
Well, maybe like a half a
I
season or
think
something, but
I think spring training will be delayed. Um, but I knew this was coming. People were talking about this
for
year
a while. Yeah.
ago or so, and yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I think it's necessary, especially to get this whole sticky tack thing situation out of the way. Obviously, the pitchers want to have dialogue and conversation with Major League Baseball about this so they can get a clear idea as to what would work and what would help them obviously fall in lines to being approved by Major League Baseball. I talked about this a couple or I don't know how many episodes back. Maybe it was when this first came out on the sticky situation episode. Um so like if yeah, uh this is a no-brainer. I've fully expected this to happen. I think a lot of baseball fans fully expected this to happen. I think the real big situation in this entire thing is sticky tack and maybe even a substance for the batters too. I don't know. That
You
they
got
can.
the DH rule in
Right.
this.
There's a DH rule. And then obviously I don't know if the players really like the overtime rules.
The
I
player on second.
yeah, that really causes some it causes a scoring situation immediately. And so it's like you don't have to fight for that, and I think that really that's changed the game a lot. There's a lot of teams that lost a lot of games because of stuff like that, and so like, and if you really bring it down, maybe they wouldn't have lost that game. So it's a weird thing. I know that's something that is people are talking about. We're also talking about there's a rumor that the umpire, an Autobot umpire type situation, that would be weird. I know they've been toying around with that in the AAA space. I don't know if they're going to bring anything like that or if that's going to come to light. That would be interesting to kind of be able to see how um, a home plate umpire less situation would be to where the balls and strikes are actually called based on where that ball actually hit. The only problem is what do you do when it's 50-50? Uh, so that's the only one where I'm like, eh. But there you have situations where the home plate umpire calls a strike and it's clearly not. Um, so
I would have no problem going with the electronic system there if
yeah,
it's if it's a fair system, if it's correct
right.
99% of the time,
They've
and
been
if
toying around with it in double A
yeah,
both recently. So it's
and strike the batter's box or the strike zone changes for different players, taller
yeah,
players, so you'd have to be able to make those adjustments.
right.
On the, I mean, it would have to like somehow measure the guy. Bloop, this is where I don't know, but I'm fine with that. I don't like this. I don't like this. The runner on second. I hate that rule. I think
Yeah,
it's automatic. It's just like, hey, let's get this game over. Well,
yeah.
just go ahead and load the bases. I don't know what I
Yeah,
mean.
at that
What are we?
point, yeah, you
What
should
are we?
just go ahead and load the bases because,
What
I
are we
mean,
doing?
one hit can score the guy
Yeah.
in,
It's just like
like
playoff rules for football that it was, oh, any team that scores wins. So it's like, okay, well, let me drive 30 yards, kick a field goal, and let's get on out of here. I'm like, that's not that sucks because it's usually going to the team who gets the coin flip. So they changed that up a little bit, and I don't like it though. And that's the thing I don't like about baseball is they're looking for ways to change to make the game faster and more entertaining. And I'm just like, leave baseball how it is.
yeah, I mean, I think there's I don't know. It's interesting. I just think that there's gonna be a lot of cool things talked about in this negotiation. And I think they're gonna be for the better. I think it's gonna be for the better of the pitchers, and for the betterment of just like maybe even the game itself. I think that this is what baseball needs, because ultimately, if they don't all come to an agreement, well, there's an issue. Salary cap's going to be obviously talked about. Not necessarily a hard cap, but and there, I'm sure people are looking to increase the amount. I know some teams want to be able to spend more money, so that's possible. But
Hey Jeff, the Rangers are they're saying there's already reports Rangers are going all in, going to spend hundreds of millions. I'll believe when I see it.
I've heard
Ugh,
that before.
yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. It sucks that it's going to possibly delay the season itself, but I don't care. I'd rather them get this out of the way, um, now than still be talking about this crap. So
All right, Jeff. And this hasn't been talked about, so and I'm surprised. It really hasn't. I didn't know really much about it until last week, and the NBA changed their basketball. They went from they went from Spalding to where is it?
Wilson, Wilson,
Wilson. Wilson.
Eh,
Why?
I
And,
don't know.
let me ask you. Let me bring this into it. Um, everyone's shooting percentages have been very low this year. Everybody. Why are we not talking about this? They why first of all, no one's talking about this. Two, why is the ball that's something that's marketable, right? If you had something that everyone you liked, why would you change it just because you got to deal with Wilson? Like I get it. Wilson makes other things too, but you just
Volleyballs,
changed it. And when you change something like the ball, like could you imagine if the NFL's like, oh, we're going to change the football up and it's going to be this or
rugby
that?
ball,
Yeah. Could you? I mean, or like
medicine ball. It's like,
a medicine ball. Gosh,
um,
I just don't understand it, and it has an effect on the NBA players, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know why they would have done it. I don't know if it was a marketing thing, or I don't know if they were just like, we like Wilson and we hate Spalding. Um,
Wilson doesn't have his own movie, Jeff. I
yes,
mean,
that's true. That's true. Um,
Spalding. Sorry, doesn't have his
Spalding's a
own.
legend.
Wilson does.
Spalding's a legend, but Wilson,
Wilson
Wilson
has
goes
his own
down.
movie with.
Wilson was with Hanks.
There you go.
So, but I don't know. It's hard to really tell, honestly. I don't know if there would be a difference. You'd have to go by two. Go buy one,
and
go buy
see.
one and buy the other and figure out what feels
Well, I
different.
mean, you've been using that ball for the bowling ball for ages. I
Yeah.
mean, ages. And then it's like, hey guys, we're gonna switch to this ball. Okay,
And maybe that'll be something that will be addressed in the offseason and players will say, "Look, this is horrible. Let's go back." And maybe they will. Maybe
maybe they
they'll look
will.
at that because I mean that's going to obviously affect games and it's going to affect numbers and it's going to affect ratings a little bit too. So if that happens and their pocketbook gets affected by it, then obviously they'll change it back. So
All right, Jeff. Since we talked about a little basketball here, the NBA landscape so far this season, we haven't been talking a whole lot about NBA. It's still brand new. Um, it's way too early to tell. Maybe these are overreactions, but I went and looked at some stuff, and first of all, Golden State seems to be back on track like nothing was ever missing. They're 8-1 this year so far. Steph Curry looks fantastic. He's been off with injuries and well rested. This team looks really good. I hate to say it, Klay Thompson's still not back yet. I don't think so. They're doing it without Klay. It's just they're on fire right now. They came off starting really good, 8-1. The Chicago Bulls, Jeff, they look really good again. Not MJ good, but they look like they could be a threat with the additions they made this offseason. Um, not Kyle Kuzma, what's his name? Kyle Kuzma went to Washington, and Washington, Jeff's 8-3 somehow from the players they got from the Laker trade. But they look good this season. I don't know how. I mean, I guess with Bradley Beal and the teams, the players that they got from the Lakers, they look good so far. Mavericks are 7-5. Still concerns with Porzingis injuries. He's still missing a lot of basketball, which is concerning. You got Lakers are 7-5, struggling to make it work with Westbrook, and LeBron James is going to miss, I think, 3 to 4 weeks. So there's a lot of concern, a lot of working out there for the Lakers. Mavericks have to figure out Porzingis' health issues like usual. They started off a little slow. What do you think so far, Jeff? Is there anything that pops out? I know it's still early, and I'm not trying to predict the championship here, but what do you see? Maybe give us something on the NBA season.
I think we see just kind of teams figuring out who they are. I think the Golden State knows who they are because I mean those guys have been playing with each other for a long time, or for the most part for a while. And then there are obviously some pieces missing from that are part of that lineage from the heyday. So Chicago is surprised, I think, because a lot of people just they've written them off for years because they just don't have Michael Jordan, and they haven't been exciting since then. So it's just kind of like what it sucks because you can't compete with that. It's impossible. But I hope that Chicago is a legitimate contender. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, they've
We mentioned that
added.
I think we mentioned that last season
Yeah,
too.
they've added. I can't think of names tonight. They added Caruso from the Lakers, who's been really really good for them, and it's a guy that I didn't want to let go, and LeBron James didn't want to let go. They couldn't make it work there for some reason. Didn't want to offer more money. He goes to Chicago. Levine is there, who's a star, and then they added the guy from San Antonio. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
DeRozan. They
Oh,
added
okay.
DeRozan as well. So they have some pieces there to compete. They're playing really good basketball right now, and them and the Wizards are like, wow, the Wizards are 8-3 right now. Kyle Kuzma's playing pretty good basketball that he didn't do for the LA.
Which is probably a way for him to have his own uh his kind of maybe figure out himself as a player too, and
right.
without all the limelight and the millions of
Well,
stars on
he's
the
gonna get
court.
he's gonna get a shot more there
Right.
because he didn't
Uh,
he didn't have to play off the bench.
yeah. With the
So
Mavericks, Mavericks are trying to figure themselves out. I think this is also then just learning a new thing. I think kids letting Luca kind of run things a little bit, and the team really kind of do their own thing and figure things out. He's obviously the coach, but I think he's coaching from a different kind of perspective. Porzingis situation, it is what it is. I don't think there's not much the Mavericks can really do about that situation. Uh, you just kind of have to roll with it. If not, we gotta. I think the Mavericks would hope that maybe he does well, and that at some point before the trade deadline, maybe they can get something for him. That's possible if he does well. Um,
I told my buddy Ryan that it's time to admit the Porzingis was a bust for the Mavericks, and a bust in the sense of expectations.
right. And it is, and again, I'm not too frustrated because Luca is so young. So it's not like that we've wasted his entire career with Porzingis because we thought Porzingis was the guy. Not too stressed out about that. That's still pretty early on, but I do think the Mavericks are. I think Luca is playing. He's starting to play better now. And then obviously the pieces around him are obviously playing a little bit better than they were before. Lakers, on the other hand, and the only thing that really strikes me with the Lakers is we kind of went into this knowing that they were an older team. This was going to be a team that was going to possibly struggle with health. Obviously, we see that with LeBron. It's weird to see LeBron struggling with his health because he just didn't do that. Like that was just not a thing
Right.
for a long time. So
Not before he joined the Lakers. No.
right. And then AD, you worry about that because that has been an issue with AD. And then it's like this thing going on with freaking AD and Dwight Howard. What the heck's going on with that? Westbrook having a hard time. I don't know if he's just learning a new system, learning how each player plays, but there's a lot that they need to figure out. And you don't have your key piece there to help that. Now he's there on the sidelines and stuff, and I get it, but he's not on the court with them.
You know what? It's funny because Westbrook's playing better now than he does with LeBron James on the court, and that's the problem. Like they've got to find a way and figure it out how they all three can play together on the
Westbrook
court.
is used to having the ball.
Yes, that's the problem. And look, when we made this trade, that this was my issue, and every Laker fan loved it. A lot of people, my buddy was like, "Oh, dude, that's huge." I'm like, "No, it's really not huge because he doesn't play well with others. He has to have the ball in his hands. He doesn't play off the ball really well. He doesn't. He gets people their shots. He's great at double doubles, but he turns over the ball a lot. He had 8 turnovers the other night. I'm like, my goodness, dude. But he plays better with AD than he does with LeBron on the court. So they've got to find a way to mingle all three together, and it's something they can figure out in the beginning of the season. Um, and hopefully at the end of the year that they've had it figured out. So, but this is the same issue that we've had. Are the same concerns that I've had with it. That's why I didn't think it was all that big of a great trade that we made because of the issues we see so far. And that's just my exact worry going into this year with it. But
I think what I take from it so far. I mean, obviously this is early. I'm not jumping to any conclusions, but I think that the time has come to maybe come to grips with the idea that LeBron James's window is closing.
oh yeah,
And
well
it's getting close.
I told my buddy last year that uh, AD's the number one on this team. It's not LeBron anymore, in my opinion. Um, AD is the one that makes his team run, in my opinion. You might call me crazy, but when AD's hurt, um, LeBron's not that guy anymore, and it's probably because he's older and he's can't do those things he used to, where he puts the team on his back. And AD can still do that, and AD's done that with LeBron out. Um, But I just feel like AD's our number one guy right now, and I feel like
Does
LeBron's number two.
does it worry you that AD has health problems or health
Oh yeah,
concerns or health issues? I shouldn't say concerns or problems, issues. Problems that come up during the season, multiple problems sometimes problems that
oh
last a
yeah,
long time.
yeah. He had those problems when he played with the Pelicans.
Okay.
Um, so when we traded for him, it's something we knew going into it.
Right.
But I would still do that trade over again because he is that good of a basketball player, and you take that risk with the reward. The reward was a 2020 championship, right?
Right.
Um, the the risk was
The
or
year Kobe passed.
the risk was um last year that they got hurt and they lost to the Suns. That was the risk. Um, but
I
so
think I think
it
it's
comes
like
with the territory with him.
do you think it's time management with him, or do you think this is more of like a training facility thing? Like maybe he needs to get on this on a different, maybe even needs to talk to LeBron, and get on a kind of a path of to where you kind of can make your career last longer than
Uh,
it would be if you didn't.
I think it's the second. Um, and I've seen other fans say the same thing that obviously what he's doing off seasons and his workouts aren't working for him. And he's got to change something up.
Okay.
So I think it's more that than anything else. And um, look, I mean, when these guys are as tall as AD is, and the way he moves the ball, guys that big aren't supposed to move like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he's going to have those injuries, but it is a concern for us Laker fans. And going into last season, when I knew, on the short rest going into last year, I knew it was going to hurt the Lakers. I said by the end of the year, we're going to be exhausted. We played the longest the year before. We won the championship. We had no off season, just about jump back into basketball. I said, man, AD and LeBron are gonna be exhausted. And what happened last year? We were hurt all the time. We limped into the playoffs. LeBron was out, and that was pretty much it. AD was out, So um, this year with a full off season, I figured it'd be better, but I think this is the time that we're going to see LeBron, like you said, his window's closing.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying they can't win a championship this year, but he has never been this hurt in his entire career until he came to LA, and that's just because Father Time is unbeatable.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if we win another one. And I don't know. I don't like the Westbrook trade. We got some shooters to go around him, and I think this team is all around on the bench better than it was last year. Or better than it was the year we won the championship.
Yeah, and
But
it's still early. Like that's the thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's still early. I mean, it's like we look at the records and it's I mean, look at them. They're like 8-3, 7-5.
yeah,
And so it's like
yeah.
there's a lot more basketball to play. There's a lot more basketball to come, and obviously, these teams are going to be in the mix. You know they are. The Lakers are going to be in the mix. The Mavericks and Doncic are going to be in the mix. And then and obviously, I mean, I hope Chicago's still in the mix. I think that would be really cool to see that team kind of thrive after that legacy that MJ left. So um, it's exciting to see more into it. I'm going to be paying attention a lot more, obviously, to the Mavericks, but uh, it's fun to kind of pay attention to it. It's fun for basketball to be exciting again, mainly
Right.
because I haven't watched it in a long time because Dirk left or Dirk was leaving and it was at the tail end and nothing was there. Now with Doncic there, it's exciting to watch again. So, yeah, I think stay tuned. There's a lot more basketball left, guys.
A lot more basketball left. All right, Jeff. It's time for that famous question that we ask each other at the end of the episodes. And I got a buddy of mine that he said this is his favorite segment of the show. So here it is for you, brother. Go ahead, Jeff. What's in your locker this week?
Well, this week, it's getting my wife has a book that she's trying to get out, a poetry book. So I've been it's been a bit of stressful trying to get that figured out, how to format things, how to figure it out. So and she's just doing it through Amazon, just self-published, I think, because it's poetry. It's those kind of things. She it's not that she doesn't care, but she just doesn't mind going through that process as opposed to just the traditional publishing route. Just because it's faster. And then what she'll do is she'll take those books and sell them at events with her writing group. So she's excited about that. It's the first time we've done it, so we're navigating something that we've never done before, and so it's a stressful thing. It's like you go to click the preview thing, and you're like, oh, errors, really? And so you have to figure out what the errors are. So it's interesting. It's kind of 1 minute she's like, you don't know what you're doing, and so it's like this argument. But all fun, she's like, thanks for helping me out. So we're just it's a challenge. Um, so outside of that, work as usual. Um, I got some health insurance stuff from work, so I'm trying to figure that out if I'm gonna do it or not. I know I'm looking for another job, so I'm kind of like, what do I do? I already
Hopefully, they're
have.
not listening to this podcast, Jeff.
Oh god, you're fired. But I mean, ultimately, I, I mean, with what I like to do, I'm looking, So, um, after I mentioned that multiple times. After this holiday, after we go to Texas for a few days, I'm gonna be actively updating resumes and things like that. So, um, but other than that, I've been just doing stuff for the podcast, like create some thumbnail stuff that we put in for the artwork for the videos. Um, I've navigating that stuff with my wife, and then enjoying the fall weather here. It's excellent. There's snow hitting the mountains, I think, tonight. So we went on a walk earlier and went around this lake where we saw finally the winter geese are back. So that's pretty cool. And just kind of, you know, gearing up for Thanksgiving. That's the next big thing. So my sister asked me to cook more of the Napoleon cookies that I made last year. So I said, sure, why not? So I'll make those too. So yeah, and obviously we paid Brian and I Brian and I played Call of Duty Vanguard last weekend,
Yes,
which was awesome.
yes.
Cool game, awesome game. Been playing some matches on my own here and there, and obviously everybody knows I play Rocket League. It's not a surprise there. I that is until Last of Us Factions comes out, that is my go-to game when I'm because I'll cook and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's got to simmer for 40 minutes. Okay, cool. I'll go play some Rocket League. So bust out a couple
Nice.
matches before dinner's up. But yeah, so that's my quick go-to game is Rocket League because it's 2 minute, 3 minute matches, in and out, done. No big deal. And so I don't have to worry about taking too long. So but yeah, other than that, ready for the holidays, ready to rub it in my dad's face. That's gonna be fun. So other than that, that's it. That's all in my locker this week. Brian, what's in your locker?
All right, Jeff. Well, number one, it's the wife's birthday yesterday, and so happy birthday, babe. Um, it's funny because I
Happy
told her,
birthday. Happy birthday.
yeah, it's funny because I told her I said I'm gonna take you out for your birthday dinner. We'll go wherever you want, and she decided that she wanted to stay home, order pizza, and watch her shows. So
That sounds awesome.
I said,
that is a
deal,
that is a
easy.
easy, quick, awesome.
Yes. We're actually gonna go tomorrow to Mansfield and, hang out with her brother-in-law, and then we're gonna go to King Crab House, this awesome seafood place we found here, and have some crab legs and some, shrimp, so she's excited about that. We consider ourselves foodies, so we really like to go and
Try
have some
stuff.
good food, man. We love it. So we
It's the music to the soul, man. I'm
right.
telling you. Without good food, man,
Oh,
life sucks.
I always tell her, I go, when we die and go to heaven, I know we don't have to eat to survive, but I hope there's food. I hope there's food, God. But anyways, that's been going on. I got Annabelle's birthday's coming up on the 30th. She will be 4. That's my second youngest. So we're gonna do a little birthday party for her. Probably go to Chuck E. Cheese and do all that stuff. So that look forward to doing that. Yeah, man, Call of Duty. I put Call of Duty on here. That's my go-to game, Jeff. Vanguard is fantastic. I liked Call of Duty Warzone. Really got me back into Call of Duty, and then the Call of Duty Cold War was garbage. I'm sorry. I bought it, and I wish I didn't.
I
And then
bought it
this one,
too.
yeah, dude, I did not like that game whatsoever. I would always go back and play Warzone. And then Call of Duty Vanguard came out, and we played the beta, and I knew from that beta it was gonna be way better than Cold War. And I've been playing that on hardcore the other day. Just fantastic. I love it. I love it. Go buy it. You will like it. Um,
Yeah, and anybody on PS5, they do have enhancements. So you got the haptic feedback on the triggers. That and it actually, I think it's even better in this one and than on Cold War. Cold War was a little over the top with the trigger haptic feedback, so you were really having to pull to kind of get that weapon to fire. This one breaking the controller. Um,
Snap it in half.
so this one I think is a little more subtle, and I like it. I like it better than I liked last year's implementation of it, and it's so good. The rumble on the PS5 on with this game and the haptic feedback is one. If they can just keep it that way, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Good to know. Good to know. As I'm still playing on the PS4, unfortunately. But
A lot of people are still playing on this.
yes, unfortunately, I actually heard something that there's more of a chip shortage, and PlayStation's actually drawing back on making more PS5s at the
Yeah,
moment.
they
But
were going to go with 15, and I think they're going back to 14 million for the holiday.
okay.
So,
Anyways,
oh,
let's not trying to not bum you guys out here. I've become a trainer at work. So,
personal trainer.
personal trainer. I'm dumping cans and working out at the same time. No, I'm just training. Like I trained a guy for the last 2 weeks on his route. He's good to go now. I'm training a new guy now, so it's stressful. It can be stressful. So I got that on my plate. And then Jeff, I broke down Jeff the other day, and I got the Peacock Network, and I got Paramount Network, and I told myself I'm not going to because I have them all now. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have I have Disney, I have Amazon Prime.
You got Discovery Plus. You
No,
got
that's I don't
oh,
have Discovery
okay,
Plus.
okay.
That might be next. I don't know.
Eventually, Discovery Plus will wrap into HBO. I think that's what I've
Probably.
heard.
I've got HBO. I literally, Jeff, I was like, I'm not getting Peacock. I'm not getting Paramount. I don't want to have them all. We pay for cable still because I gotta have my sports. Um, we got it. I got it. Peacock. Well, I got Paramount because I thought Yellowstone was on Paramount, and I was like, no, it's on Peacock. So I went and got Peacock, and we like Peacock because it's got Yellowstone, which we haven't dug into it yet. That's the next show I think me and the wife are going to jump into. I've heard great things about it, so we're looking forward to hopefully tomorrow night
Do you
settling
not
down
already
and
get Peacock
watching.
even though you have cable?
No,
Really?
Peacock is a different now. I think it's only like $5 a month. So
Okay,
Paramount $10 a month. Peacock though,
because that's NBC.
yeah, you don't
So weird,
you still have to pay for Peacock, and
bastards.
that's how they get you. But what makes it annoying
Bastards.
is like when you go to Netflix and you watch a movie, there's no ads. You go to
Okay.
Peacock or Paramount and you watch a movie. I think it was Paramount. We go to watch a movie, A Knight's Tale. My wife wanted to watch A Knight's Tale the other night, and it has ads. I'm like, what in the
In
world are
the
we
paid
doing?
version?
Yes.
Oh,
So she said, "Screw this. We're going to Netflix because we can find it on Netflix, and it won't." I,
or just
I,
rent it for $3. Get
dude,
rid of the ads,
I
man.
was like, why is ads in a movie? I get TV shows. That's the thing that I'm like, oh, I don't know about. But I got it mainly for Yellowstone. I have to watch it. It seems like a show I'm gonna really, really like. And then Peacock also has The Office on there, and we love The Office. So, and they have a lot of blooper stuff on there and behind the scenes stuff that my wife really likes to dive into the behind the scenes on how things are made, and she'll like watch the behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings. Like the movie's already 3 hours, and she'll watch the 3 hour behind the scenes, like, and that's cool. But like I don't know if I can sit through another 3 hours of this, but that's something that she likes. So we went ahead and got those two. I'm hoping Yellowstone is really good. I don't know if you've watched it, Jeff, but I've heard
Mm-mm.
amazing things about it.
No, I haven't watched. We're getting ready for Tiger King season 2.
Yes, when is it? That's
Where
this month, right?
I think it's today.
Today? Oh
I
man,
think. And then obviously December we got Witcher. My wife is a huge Witcher fan.
I
So
haven't watched the show.
you should. It's good. Know that like timeline wise, it's going to jump around and get confusing, but just stay with it. Like it seems weird, but just stay with it. It'll make sense at the end. That was the big thing. Because so Witcher, the games, everybody knows about the games, or at least people that are probably listening to this know there's a game called The Witcher, and it became popular. And it's based off short books, short novels, short stories, and of Polish lore. And so the show, the first season, is really like a conglomeration of those short stories told throughout the episodes. And so that's kind of why you see the time jump a little bit, and it seems weird because at first it's like, wait, where are we at in terms of the timeline? And so it's a little weird. But the season 2 was actually supposed to be a continuing episode after episode after episode. So,
Gotcha.
but they've already signed on season 3 of it, so it's obviously Netflix is already enjoying it enough to green light a new season. But yeah, that one's coming in December, so that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
Another show we're watching is the Orville. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
It is
Is that a
Seth
with
MacFarlane.
yeah, yeah, yes, okay, so it's like Star
Seth Mac
Trek, but
It's Star Trek, but like Family Guy kind of. It's
McFarlane,
MacFarlane. It's Seth
yeah.
MacFarlane. It's not as bad and raunchy as Family Guy, but it's pretty funny. So we like it. Surprisingly, I was like, I don't know, and then we watched a couple episodes. Like that's not bad. So we're watching that. That's kind of our. If we don't have a show to watch, the show, we'll turn that on and put that on. But
I,
so
I
we're
still I still to this day one of the best things from Family Guy I ever saw was when Peter fought the chicken.
oh dude, that's the best. The
That's just straight up you and my's humors to a T, dude.
dude,
To a T.
you know what always gets me, Jeff? What is that? The butterfly effect, where he goes
Oh,
to grab that granola bar
oh, he
and
broke
it
it.
broke in half.
It was like depressed.
Oh,
Oh man.
this poor guy's like depressed. Like, it's Ashton Kutcher, and he's something about going back in time, and he changes it's the butterfly effect, changes his future, and he's got
He
he's
doesn't have
like
yeah, he lost his arm somehow, like,
yeah,
in
and he
some
has this little
accident.
little claw thing, and she goes to him a granola bar, and he's all depressed, and this poor guy just wants a granola bar, and he goes to grab it, and as he closes the claw on it, it just like crumbles and falls to the floor. And when me or Jeff were younger, we thought that was we rewinded that
Oh,
scene over
it was just,
and
like, the
over.
worst thing. It was like, "Gosh,
Oh,
can't anything go right for this dude?" Like, he keeps trying to make things better, and things keep getting
oh,
worse.
it was great.
Oh, man.
Um, oh yeah, so Family Guy is great too, but no, that's pretty funny show. But that's all that I have in my locker. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll be able to play games this weekend. It just depends. I got we're going to David's house tomorrow, and I got to work tomorrow morning. Actually, when I get done here, I'm going straight to bed because I got to get up at 2 in the morning to go to work, which is always fun. And it's 8:15, so I know I know it seems like it's so late, but it's not. It's not. The time change, is that throwing you off lately?
My wife is throwing her off.
It's throwing her off.
Me, I sometimes, like, at work, I'll hit something will hit me, and I'm like, I can tell I'm, like, drowsing. I'm like, "What the heck?" Like, that's so different.
For some reason, this year has been the first year that I've actually felt like I've gotten an extra hour sleep. because that was when we gamed, and I stayed up till midnight. It was
Yeah.
12:30
Yeah.
before when I went to bed, and the kids woke me up at 7:55, and I was like, oh. But then I was like, it's really it's really 8:55. But if it felt, I actually like woke up and was like, hey, I actually feel like I got an extra hour of sleep last night. So maybe that's the trick. Maybe every time that happens, I'll just stay up late and play games and see what happens. In theory, I'm willing to try for you guys. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode this week. We talked a little bit about it all. I'm still upset about Odell going to the Rams instead of Green Bay. Jeff gets to gloat at the Thanksgiving table about Denver Broncos beating his dad's Cowboys. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Enjoy your weekend. I have to work tomorrow, unfortunately, but I'll be off pretty early in the morning, so I'll still have the rest of the day. Jeff, enjoy your weekend. God bless, and good luck with the poetry, man.
Oh yeah. We're getting close. I'm almost got it to where I've gotten what I need. I just need her to look at it, but getting close. We'll be working more on that probably this weekend, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure she's gonna make you work on that until you go on that trip, probably.
Probably.
And even on the trip, she's gonna be like,
Uh,
"Babe, look at this." No.
all
All
right.
right, guys. Well, hope you
Take
guys
care.
enjoy this weekend.
I may do some Twitch stuff this weekend. I don't know. I might. So I have not gotten into Far Cry. I will probably
Dude,
stream
get
it.
into it. Get
I'll
into it.
probably stream it. So
The
but
wife's
yeah.
already beat it.
Oh my
So
gosh, dude.
I know. Crazy.
Oh man.
All right, guys. God bless. Take care and enjoy your weekend.
Bye bye.